realistically perfect. So perfect. It's like, come on, that's not realistic. I can't do that. That's not me. So, but Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about weaknesses. Shabari Muni is so much austerity and he loses it. So what to speak of if I lose my mind over something, if I feel overwhelmed, if I feel weak, if I feel I do mistakes, I misuse my sexual energy, and then I have to learn from it. So the whole point is not that, oh, you did it and it's over. That's not Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is all about, even if you lose it, you have a chance. Um, Even if we lose it, Krishna always gives us another opportunity. Always, always to learn from those experiences. Like Shabari Muni learned from his experience. So similarly, if I have misused my sensual energy for name or fame or in my own gratification and misusing other people's, taking advantage of other people, whatever it is, if I can learn from that experience, that's not going to make me happy. It's not sustainable. I'm not going to thrive by misusing my sensual energy. It's of a great help. Okay, I'm going to pause here and see if you have any questions or comments or any discussion that you would like to have.
Yeah, Krishna Mataji. So I have a question. So, like, we need to channelize the energy. So that's what we understood, like, in the form of services. And like nowadays, we see many productivity books coming out. And how do you understand, like, without like being in services? So even whatever productivity measures we try to follow, like some or the other way, like the material energy will finally bring us in its trap. So because not all of them like will, because even there will be influence from family. Okay, you should not go like too much to temple or something. So how do we really get this conviction?
Yeah, good. Very good question. Actually, if you read this book of mine, it's a small book. It's Crossing Over Obstacles. I call it the Lotus Feet book. So how, right? I'm going to read a little excerpt from that. It's a little poetry here. I held my guilt like chains of stone, afraid to face the things I'd shown. I had sown, not shown. Afraid to face the things I'd sown, not like sowing the seed. Yet truth is not a sword to slay, but hands that lift the night away. A flag unfurls upon the breeze. Krishna's mercy sets me free. I speak my past, I claim his grace, and I stand in light, no more erased. So the concept of this is, it's in the 6th chapter, I suppose, fifth step. It's all about being honest with other devotees, opening up and say, I have this guilt, I have this weakness, I have this crawling problem, I have this sexual problem, I have this attraction towards shopping addiction, whatever it is, okay? For men, it may be more gross level, for women, it can be subtle, but the things that deviate, that we lose focus on it. And so the point is not that the truth is, the truth is not a sword. In other words, the weakness that I have, I don't have to like cut myself, beat myself up, but I go and approach the Lord. There's a little flag in the lotus feet of the Lord, and that symbol of flag represents that we can actually have victory, have that breeze, so to speak, the relief in devotional service done properly, because devotional service can also be done in sattva, rajas, and tamas. So if we can engage ourselves in devotional service in a balanced way, recreation, sadhana, everything balanced. So devotees must also have fun. In other words, it's not just austerity. What's that? All work and no play makes Tom something boy. I forget that expression. There's something like that. So it's not just, oh, we just do fanatically in a repressed way, in a very artificial way, try to like beat our mind to do devotional service. No, so sukham kartum avyayam, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that we do devotional service in a happy mood. It's actually joyfully performed. And if we are not performing it joyfully, there's something wrong and we need to look into it. So in Bhagavatam, tapodivyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyed yasmad brahma saukyam tvanantam. Again the concept comes that tapodivyam, if, see, austerities, there's a big difference between these people. You see, they're early morning, like 4 o'clock I saw people going to work, taking their dogs early in the morning, and it's tapas. It's austerity, but it's useless austerity. It's not austerity which uplifts you. It's an austerity that just drains your energy. There's nothing like divine in it. But tapodivyam, when you do devotional service, the same cooking, cleaning, washing, when it's done for Krishna, when it's spiritualized, there is unlimited benefit. So what happens, even if, let's say, I'll give you a very practical example. Let's say a devotee who served very, very, very hard, sacrificed a lot, and then still, like Shaubari Muni, he may have a situation, and I know one particular devotee was serving in the temple and everything, and then he went off. It was too much for him at one point, and then he had girlfriends and everything, and he went off, and he was thinking that he's enjoying for a while. He was very upset that in the temple there was a little austerity. He didn't have toilet papers to use, and it was some time ago story, so the temples were struggling much more, and he was really like complaining about the situation. I don't want to wake up early in the morning. Why should I wake up early in the morning? I like to sleep through. And so he was really like upset. The mind was too much suppression or whatever. Then what happens? He goes off, he does what he does, and then 10 years later, 10 years, okay, he's sitting one morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's sitting in a place, waiting for a big van to come. And a big van comes, and that big truck is filled with toilet papers. So it opens, all the toilet papers just come, and then he just has like this euphoria moment. He's like enlightenment moment. He just, like Shaubari is having now in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. This dude has this devotee has, he was not a devotee anymore. He stopped practicing, he stopped chanting, he stopped coming to the temple, he stopped doing. So, and then he was at his job, basically, 4 a.m. It was his morning job. And he was there, and what was he getting? He was up at 4 a.m. with a lot of toilet papers. So he realized, like, why did I leave Krishna? Why did I leave the devotees? Just because there was austerity? This austerity is much more intense. There I was experiencing bliss. Tapodivyam putrakayana satam shuddhyed yasmad brahma saukyam. It's not ordinary saukyam, relief. No, it's brahma saukyam. It's eternal. It's beyond. It's spiritualized ananda. It's bliss, which is the soul, once it experiences it, never forgets. So the point is, there has to be a balance. You need to have fun. You need to be open with devotees. Like I said about the 5th step, going further, in the 6th step, the prayer comes, "Oh Krishna, I surrender all that I am to you. I ask not for my will, but for yours. Just as the lotus rises untouched by mud, lift me beyond my defects. Let me bloom in the purity of your love, trusting that you will shape me into what I was always meant to be. I humbly place myself in your hands." Because no amount of astrology, analyzing personality types, figuring out our mind, it's enough. Ultimately, I need to go and tell Krishna, I surrender all my character defects to you. I surrender all my strengths to you. I don't want to enjoy my strengths, nor do I want to suffer the weaknesses. I want to hand it over to you. I just want to be an instrument. Your will and not mine be done. So the humbly placing ourselves in Krishna's hands ultimately is the answer to your question, Yashwant Prabhu, that we can do what we can do. Balance sadhana, balance fun, entertainment, balance association with good people, balance your sadhana with whatever desires they may have. One thing I've learned in my personal life is, if some material desires are there and it's not sinful, then we should have a dialogue with the mind. Okay, you want these things. I mean, I'll just give you an example. As a woman, I have certain things like with, I should use healthy oils and healthy creams. And so when I'm traveling, it's difficult because in Mayapur, I have like a luxury, right? I get all kinds of creams and oils and everything that I need. But here I struggle. Like, how much can I travel with? But at the same time, even being here, when I had to think, oh, I need these vitamins, I need these supplements, I need these creams to stay hydrated, hydrate the skin, because skin is the largest part of the body, largest organ of the body. And so this is a woman's side of story I'm giving. Similarly, men have your own issues, okay? But you need to be honest about it. Honestly, look at it and see, talk to that part and say, I understand you want this, but we're traveling, our focus is here. Can we adjust with the minimal things so to keep that mind part satisfied? So yeah, then it's sustainable. Then the growth will become strong and we will not slip. But if we suddenly rush into like this devotee he was rushing too much, he was giving too much, and then he had a relapse, he had a breakdown. And some other devotees may never take up to it and they always remain stagnant. So there has to be sattvaguna balance. And sattvaguna is not about thinking yourself so insignificant, so low that you don't do anything. So thinking less about yourself, that's humility. Radhanath Maharaj often says humility is not, it's thinking less about yourself, not thinking yourself less. No, it's not thinking yourself less, it's about thinking less about yourself, thinking more about Krishna. What do I need here? How can I be an instrument in this situation? Does it help, Yashwant Prabhu?
Yeah, Mataji, absolutely. Thank you.
It's kind of. And yeah, I wanted to say how men and women, also there's psychological differences. What means lust for us? What means that energy being used or misused? So there's a different. Any other comments, questions?
Mother, just one more thing. You mentioned about these sanskaras or impressions which form on the mind, and then because of them we actually act helplessly in certain circumstances. Mm-hmm. So how exactly bhakti process helps for all those impressions which we have formed over the years?
Mm-hmm. I'll read from this. Okay, this is chapter 7, step 7. Humbly asking Krishna to remove our defects, our samskaras, whatever, okay? The symbol, the key symbol here is the disc, the wheel. The wheel on the lotus feet of Krishna represents the continuous movement of divine grace in our lives. Just as the wheel moves forward, Krishna's mercy propels us towards transformation, removing what no longer serves us. Surrender means trusting the motion of Krishna's will, allowing him to steer our journey instead of resisting change. This is like an affirmation. I step onto the wheel of Krishna's grace, letting him remove my burdens and guide me forward in surrender. In other words, it's not a thing that I can do with my own mind, because that same mind created all this nonsensical samskara sometimes. So I can't depend on that mind. So this is at step 7, it's the turning point where we move from acknowledgement to transformation. Because through the first 6 steps, it's all about, step by step, acknowledging that I can't, and acknowledging Krishna's power, how that handing over to Krishna, what do I need to do, what is my part and what is the part. So 7th is all about coming to that point where we have seen our defects and now humbly place them before Krishna, asking him, because 6th step is becoming willing to have those defects removed, to have those bad samskaras removed. 7th is truly, completely placing ourselves, asking Krishna to remove. Because before we ask Krishna, we have to become ready. So that's step 6. So step 7, where Krishna, please remove all those things that no longer serves my purpose. So the disc chakra, ever spinning, it doesn't pause, right? So it continues its work, clearing the path, breaking down the past and opening the path ahead. Our shortcomings are like dust on the spokes of the wheel, meant to fall away as we keep moving forward towards spiritual freedom. This is not about control, but trusting in the forward motion of divine grace. So, Prabhuji, Sandeep Prabhu, thank you for this question. You know, one very major thing, I am in my way of letting go of those samskaras because I'm holding on to it, either subtly, either even in the association of devotees, I'm holding on to it. ನಾನು ನನ್ನದು ಎಂಬ ನರಕದೊಳಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ನೀನೇ ಗತಿ ಎಂದು ನಂಬಿದ ದಾಸನ ಮೇಲೆ. So that aham mameti, me and mine. It says, Vaishnavacharya Purandara Dasa, he says that this concept, this attachment of me and mine is like, it's hell. It's hell. And so, you know, to think, for example, I'm Indian, my cultural background, my people, my training, to become too identified, it creates a samskara of becoming judgmental maybe towards Western people. And if we are Westerners, we say we become conditioned with discipline or freedom, and then we can create a samskara of becoming judgmental towards those who may not come from that cultural background. Like freedom, Western devotees are more independent. Like I was saying, when I went to see my husband yesterday and we were in the hospital, and I saw that there are not, the culture here is not that relatives hang around or family. People go and admit themselves in the hospital. So the Western culture is more independent. And then in India, the whole dynasty will go along with the person who's sick. So the point is, there will be the tendencies, nature, samskaras that it's kind of coming along. But the point is, we have to move. Krishna consciousness have to release us from these mentalities. I mean, I also have some cultural conditioning. We all have some cultural conditioning. But Srila Prabhupada gave the direction. Don't become too attached to this way or that way. Krishna's way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's way. So yeah, we need some structure, we need some boundaries to release them. But it's very subtle, Sandeep Prabhu. This question of yours is, it's very relevant to the movement, and it's very relevant for devotees, because we do get stuck with our samskaras unknowingly. So these prayers are very essential, to pray to the Lord honestly, step by step, and humbly. Seventh step is about humbly asking the Lord to remove those character defects. And there are also two sides of character defects, right? One is the character defects of fear, anxiety, lust, greed, anger. But then there is also the other side of feeling inferiority complex, insecure, feeling I'm never good enough. That's also character defect, because it's not honesty. Honesty means I am taking an inventory of the good and the bad. And seventh step is beyond all that. Fourth step is about being aware of good and bad. Seventh step is about, I hand it over to you. So the Goswamis give us very clear idea of anartha nivritti, you know, this. But it's not so much emphasized. We jump after anartha nivritti. We are just talking about bhava and prema, but we can't go to nishta. Nishta is about determination in devotional service. Without determination, how can I get bliss? The Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam, how can I get it if I'm stuck with my anartha nivritti? So your question is directly pertaining the topic of anartha nivritti. I actually have a book about it, and I have this playlist called Boot Camp for Anartha Nivritti Boot Camp. You can watch it. It's free on Gaur Academy YouTube channel, and you can ask questions. And we also have support groups. We have something for men, maybe not that regularly going on, but we have something for women. We have some Vaishnavis helping each other. We call it Sakis. So there are programs to help us to break that pattern of the samskaras that are keeping us in the loop. Yeah, keeping coming at the same point and not progressing really. And this symptom is, are we experiencing joy in our devotional service? And then the samskaras we can shake it off. That's the concept of the wheel, and we can shake off those samskaras. And if we are speaking about weaknesses such as sexual weaknesses, sensual weaknesses, habits, then I would say you need more patience. We need more compassion. to look at those parts, like what is that part in me seeking? It can't just be sex, because sex is just one Mataji would say, Jagat Tarini Mataji, she would say, it's just like two capsules. No, they are covered, right? And they're trying to merge into each other, but it's not possible. So similarly, if act of sex is just an attempt at, an attempt. But the true thing is we're seeking that connection with the Lord, and there's no substitute for that. And I'm looking for substitutes, but there is no substitute. So all these energies, me, mine, my power, my position, my enjoyment, all these samskaras that we're carrying is only because of me trying to replace my need for Krishna with these substitutes. So the point is there are levels of these samskaras, and we have to look at where we are and honestly discuss this. It would be very beneficial to join sanghas where people are very serious about doing this work. I call it self-transformation work. The program is called Inner Blockbusters. So if you are interested, you can write, and we can start our own Inner Blockbuster program in Munich, where we fight this war against these old samskaras, old patterns, busting the blocks. These are blocks that are stopping us. So we can discuss that. Yeah, I was discussing it with Uddhava Prabhu, something similar. We can have like youth program where we can bust blocks and be motivated and reach your highest potential. Like that we can have for different audience. And it's helpful to join sanghas online like that. It really helps build that intimacy and openness and trust, and because everybody's doing their best and everybody's struggling in our own ways. And when we look at each other, we say, oh, it's not only me. Does it help, Sandeep Prabhu? Does it make sense?
Yes, very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions, complaints, disagreements?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for very wonderful class, very enlightening, so much knowledge we got. So first of all, I would like to thank you. I request all the devotees to unmute and say 3 times Hari Bol for Mataji. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I was having a very important announcement, and after that I will ask my question, Mataji, if you allow. So important Mataji will be taking all the devotees who are interested to Shivalayam just for a visit on the Shravan Somvar today evening. 5:30 p.m. We will be reaching at Shivalayam. So there are some mantras which they will be chanting for Lord Shiva. So those who want to approach Lord Shiva in the mood of Kong, in the mood of Vaishnavanam Yathashambho, so today is the opportunity. Please, under the guidance of Mataji, join in Shivalayam. And I have one question, Mataji. So what is the importance of Shravan Somvar in our tradition?
Okay. So Vaishnavas, we are all about timing, right? Right timing. Krishna created all these different months, and every month has a personality that rules over. And every month has a specific spiritual benefit that we derive. Like Kartik month, we offer lamps. So like Krishna's favorite month, Damodar month. So we celebrate Kartik month, Damodar month. Similarly, this Shravan month is very dear to Mahadev, who is the Vaishnavanam Yathashambho, is the best among the Vaishnavas. So it is said that, every deity has their own favorite flowers. Like Krishna likes Parijat, he likes Tulsi. Similarly, Mahadev, he likes bhel leaves and bhel patta. And then he likes this Rudra Phool. And then he likes, I don't remember all the names in English. So we have these different flowers that Mahadev likes. So similarly, because we are a movement of personalists, right? We all have tastes. Somebody likes sweet prasadam, somebody likes halava more, somebody else likes rasgulla more. So similarly, Mahadev is that great devotee, and his favorite month is Shravan month. And Shravan Somvar, Shravana month is especially Mondays. Mondays is day of Mahadev. And I want to give like psychological importance as well in this connection. All the questions that came up, and the topic of today, sexuality, energies, sex begins inside the mind, all that. The Manu Abhimani Devata, the deity which rules over the mind, is Mahadev, Lord Shiva. So like in our body we have different organs, we have like eyes, nose, so Krishna gives them in charge to demigods. Different demigods rule the eyes, and some demigods rule the hands and the muscle parts. So there's a demigod ruling every part, and the lord of the mind is Mahadev. Mahadev is in charge of the Mano Abhimani Devata. So he gives us the ability to navigate psychological dimensions, emotional depths, and emotional chaos. And there is one beautiful bhajan by Purandara Dasa. He was the saint who appeared in South India, Vaishnav saint who also met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Rama Ramananali Amala Bhakuti Kodu, Rama Ramananali Amala Bhakuti Kodu, Namo Virupaksha, Namo Parvati Patinuta Janapara, Namo Virupaksha, Namo Namo Vishalaksha. Nilakanta Trishula Dhamaruha Stalankrita Raksha. So this personality who is Mahadev, who is the Manobhimani Devata, he gives us bhakti. He's the Gopeshwar Mahadev. He's the Kshetrapalak Shiva. He is the one who gives us access to Krishna's pastimes. He is the one who gives us access to the holy Dham. Why? Because he has gained the favor of Krishna and Srimati Radharani. And therefore he is able to deliver all the conditioned souls. And he will always take them to Krishna. And the one who has Nilakanta, you know the concept of Nilakanta, everybody speaks of it. But the whole point of the Nilakanta is the representation of his service. He offered service during the churning of the ocean. When the poison came out, he drank it to serve the Supreme Lord. And then he became Nilakanta. So his mood is something that the Vaishnavas need to imbibe. The mood of sacrifice, the mood of service, the mood of being super dedicated to Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, as a whole, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only left 2 writings, or like, how do you say, he left like composed only 2 things. One is Shikshashtakam that we chant daily, and Shivashtakam. Did you know that? So Mahaprabhu composed the Shivashtakam, and I can recite it. It's a beautiful, if you go and Shivashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is in Murari Gupta's diary. When Mahaprabhu entered Jagannath Puri and he entered Lord Shiva's temple, he composed this beautiful song. And I'll say the meaning first. We have actually 9 minutes for the meeting to end. So he, in the first paragraph, he says how he's offering his pranams to Mahadev and saying how Mahadev is the controller of 30 primal demigods. And he is the father of created beings. And he is very gracious, from whose head Ganga Devi flows and on whose head moon is situated. By the way, moon, mind, manas, control, everything is connected to Mahadev. So, and that's the first paragraph. He says he's a festival of eyes, a festival for the eyes of Gauri, fair goddess. And then he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I offer my obeisances to the one who resembles a moon of molten gold hue. He is dressed in garments like fresh blue lotuses and like rain clouds. And so he describes the beauty of Mahadev and his special the special flag, which has the image of bull, and he goes on Nandi, the bull. And then he dispels darkness with the 3 eyes, the sun, moon, and fire representations. So he creates general auspiciousness for all living entities. And he defeats thousands of moons and sun. His potency defeats thousands of moons and sun. And then he says, I offer my obeisances to the form of the Lord, who's brilliantly illuminated by jewels of Anantadev, because he has snakes as well, right? And like that goes on and on. Mahaprabhu glorifies. And the 6th paragraph is the most beautiful. It goes like, maybe I'll just recite that 6th paragraph. Shri Ram Govind Mukunda Shauri Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva Ityadi Namamrita Panamatta Bringadipaya Khila Dukka Hantre Shri Naradadhyai Satatam Sugopya Jigyasitaya Shuvara Pradaya Tebhyo Harer Bhakti Sukha Pradaya Shivaya Sarva Gurave Namo Namaha. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Oh Sri Rama, Oh Govinda, Oh Mukunda, Oh Hari, Oh Krishna, Oh Narayan, Oh Vasudeva. Lord Shiva, who is the monarch of intoxicated bee-like devotees who are mad to drink the nectar of these names that we just recited, and other innumerable holy names, obeisances to Lord Shiva, who destroys all grief and gives us the taste to chant the holy names of the Lord. And then he says, Mahadev, please accept my obeisances again and again. You are forever inquired confidentially by Narada and other sages. You also grant favors upon them very quickly. So Mahadev is Ashutosha, no? He gives quickly benedictions. So he is bestowing happiness of what? Happiness of Hari Bhakti. He's the one in charge of giving that unto those who seek boons from you and thereby creating auspiciousness. You are thus the Guru, the spiritual master of everyone. These are the words of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, we honor Mahadev so much. If you listen to Radhanand Maharaj's lectures on Mahadev, they are the best. He speaks about Mahadev as the Kshetrapalak Shiva, the one who guards the holy dham. Not everybody can enter. You may enter with the body, but unless Mahadev gives us the control of the mind, the pure clarity of thought, clarity of consciousness, because he's mind also is connected to consciousness. So Mahadev can protect our consciousness. He protects the dham. He protects the leelas of the Lord. He becomes Gopeshwar Mahadev. Only women, sakis, gopis were allowed in the Rasa Leela dance of Krishna. But Mahadev is so special. He also enters, especially he becomes a gopi. So that's glories of Mahadev. We can go on and on. There are many esoteric glories of Mahadev, but yeah, I mean, we may not be going to Vaishnava Shiva temple today, but they are devotees of Shiva. They were worshipping him. So we will take blessings and also pray for Kante Prabhu, and we will, honor Mahadev. They'll do Abhishek, it seems, and then they will do Mrityunjaya mantras, and then 108 times, and then they do other stotras. And it's also good to make friends with them and maybe go and do our programs. Maybe if they give me a chance, I'll sing our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shivashtakam and glorify Mahaprabhu. Let's see what Mahadev wants, what Mahaprabhu wants. Does it help, Uddhava Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Very cool, very nice explanation.
Yeah, because sometimes devotees are a little hesitant. Oh, Shiva, oh, demigod. Yes, but if you see Shiva as a demigod, he's a demigod. But if you see him as a Vaishnava, he's the Guru. That's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's distinction. I grew up in a Madhva Brahmana family, and Madhvas are they integrate very nicely. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Mahadev is the uncle. Krishna is the father, Vishnu, Srinivas, Balaji, Narayana is the father, and Mahadev, it's family. They see him as they see Mahadev, Ganesh Ji, Parvati Devi. They have all of them in the Vaishnava temples, and they see the intrinsic interconnectedness and relational dynamics like a family. Madhvas don't see Mahadev and Ganesha as demigods. They see them as the parivara, the family of the Lord. I see that somebody has unmuted. I don't know if you want to say something. Sinan Buldokoglu, you have something?
Mataji, I can just thank you for all that overflowing, your heart, the pouring love on Krishna. I'm really impressed to hear, and that clearness of your thoughts and emotions and the way you express yourself. And thank you so much for all that inspiration. we hope that to see you again here in Munich. That would be a blessing for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sinan Prabhu. Thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming to this class. And it means a lot. Your encouragement means a lot. And your blessings.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Krishna bless you.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left. And we either get kicked out or we leave ourselves. Any other last comments? Anybody likes to share what you liked about this talk today? Or what you didn't like?
I liked very much about the Shivashtakam. I was not aware that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote this. So thank you very much. It's a very valuable information.
Yeah, it really clarifies the Siddhanta of Mahadev in Vaishnavism. Very, very clear. Mahaprabhu has given that clear understanding. And we need Mahadev's mercy, to practice devotional life. We need his mercy. Brahma bole chaturmukhe Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Mahadeva Panchamukhe Rama Rama Hare Hare. So there's a Vaishnava bhajan like that they are always chanting the holy names of the Lord. Brahma is chanting with 4 heads and Mahadev has 5 heads and he's chanting the holy name with 5 heads. Okay, so we will see those of you who can join. We will meet in Shiva Temple today around 5:30. And rest of you, maybe we'll see before I leave. Thank you very much for your hospitality, for your attention. And maybe we'll have other Bhagavatam classes tomorrow and maybe some youth sangha here in the evenings tomorrow or so. And when Kantya Prabhu comes back, also we could have a sangha, like an interactive games kind of a sangha. We're planning that. We'll let you know. We'll announce. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Mahadev Shravana Somvar ki jai. Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Hare Krishna.